Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and special guests. Question: have you ever really looked forward to a holiday, take a whole day to maybe rest and sleep and kick back, watch hours of television if you want to, and for some reason it just goes south? A year ago, a little over a year ago today, I had just gotten, near Labor Day, on Labor Day of 2015, I had just gotten what I call the maha of all house sitting jobs. And I had just really started. I'd had a 2-month one and then a 7-month house sit at a beautiful home about a mile above Nevada City, a log cabin, large. It was the third night I think I had stayed there, and my girlfriend was staying with me. We got permission for that. And because there were very few houses in the area around there, my girlfriend asked if we'd lock things up pretty good so she'd feel safe. So I did that, and the garage windows were open so to let the cat out. So we decided to lock the door between the garage and the laundry room. So we get up Monday morning. We both sleep into about 9 o'clock. And Juanita, my partner, says, I'm going to go make a bath and just luxuriate, totally start the day off right. She said, "You want to come?" I said, "No, I'm going to roll over and try to get a little more sleep." It was already 9 o'clock. So I hear the water running, I'm drifting off, and apparently my girlfriend went in, started the water, then decided to luxuriate even more. She went up and put some hot water on the stove in an open-aired pot. And then she thought, I want to meet this cat. So she goes down through the large laundry room into the garage to meet Buddy. Now, Buddy's a 19-year-old, 90% deaf female named Buddy. And the last job, it was a male cat named Cammy. Now, cats are pretty independent. I think it messes up their emotions. So I am now not able to really get back to sleep. So I get up and I walk through the house. I hear the water running, and I don't notice the pot on the stove. And I go into the garage, and I see this figure with no clothes on going outside the garage, running that way. And I go, "Honey?" And she goes, "Robert?" And she comes back in. She says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "What am I doing here? What are you doing here?" And like that. And of course, I couldn't see that well because I didn't have my contacts in, but I could see what she was thinking. So at that point, she says, Robert, did you shut that door?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Robert, that door's locked. The bathtub is filling up, and there's a burning pot on the stove." I start hyperventilating. I said, no, this is not happening. That's the last job. I found the cat 2 days before the end of the 2 months, face down in the mud. I had to rush it to the hospital. Cost them several $1,000s when I saved its life. But I felt pretty nervous going into this bigger one. Okay, so I'm hyperventilating here, and I did do one thing right at that moment. I'll tell you that later. And she says, "Robert, we got to get a phone. Do you know of an outside key?" "No." I said, "No, this is not happening. I can't burn down this house. Okay, so we thought, okay, we'll run outside. And again, there's no houses around there. There's one house, but it's totally blocked by trees. So naked, I had boxer shorts on. We were running around the house looking for a screen, and it's all dirt. There's no grass. So it's pine needles and dirt and stones. And we get to that thing and it's solid. We can't do it. There's no other screens because the house goes down and nothing to do. So we're back in the garage, and honestly, I forget the order of things that happened because it's a total wipeout. I know certain things. I do remember thinking, and she's calm. I couldn't figure that out because a lot of times she's not calm. And I teach meditation. I teach yoga. I teach people how to relax. Let go of stress. And the craziest thing is that at one point I ran out looking for a ladder so I could look in to the kitchen and see how that, because about 3 feet from where that pot is, 3 feet over, is the water sprinklers, which would douse completely the kitchen into the living room and into the dining room. It's all one big piece. So I get this huge ladder. I think it was a double ladder. And I put it up and I see the windows and I rush up and I get to the top of the windows. Who do I see? My girlfriend. I'm in the garage. I'm looking in the garage. The kitchen is 20 feet this way. That's how off I was. That's how discombobulated I was. We called 911. You remember my car was in the my phone was in the car. We called 911. They do show up early. They got this massive axe. They want to break down the back double door windows. Luckily, I was able to say no. My girlfriend had dressed. She found a long men's T-shirt and sneakers in the house. And we'd gone around and turned off. We were pretty sure we had turned off the gas. And then we thought we had turned off, the water. We thought we turned off the gas. Firemen were really nice, but they didn't even check that. They didn't check anything. At this point, I'm just, again, barely functioning. My girlfriend's calm, but she has a thought. If we can just call them, if we can find a number for Gary. I didn't have one on my phone. And she went into the glove compartment of his truck that was there, found a bill with his phone number. We called, got an outside key, and I opened the door. We walked in. It was a full hour. The pot was burning. This gas was still on, and it never affected. It never started. I think it was a miracle. I think that prayer I said up in the beginning made the day. Madam Chair.
Call for a minute for the timers, but also just a reminder for everyone that we want silence during this time. So 1 minute on the timer.